Do you want to make a delicious, easy to make dessert? It's this one. Well, welcome back to Happy Cooking with Yvonne Douglas. Today we're going to make our 5-layer dessert, or I like to call it the oh so good cake because it's oh so good. The first layer is going to consist of 1 cup of flour. You're going to need 1 stick of unsalted butter. I use Land O'Lakes. And you're also going to use 1 cup of chopped pecans. You're going to put it in a bowl, something like this, and mix that up. And then you'll need a 9x13 casserole dish. And you're just going to pat that down in here. And then we're going to bake it at 300 degrees for about 20 minutes. So that's the first layer. The second layer is going to consist of 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 cup of Cool Whip, and 1 package of 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese. And that's going to be the second layer. You'll put that second layer on when the first layer is totally cool. The third layer is going to consist of a family-sized package of chocolate instant pudding mix. I use the Jell-O brand, and on the directions it tells you to use 3 cups of milk. Well, make sure you only use 2 cups of milk because you want it a little bit thicker, so make sure that you use only 2 cups of milk there. And that's going to be the third layer, and for the fourth layer, we're going to use Oreo cookies. That's right, we're going to get some Oreo cookies, put it in a mortar and pestle, and we're going to crush that up, and we're going to use approximately a cup of Oreos. And that's going to be our fourth layer, and then the last layer, the fifth layer, is just going to be the topping, which is going to be Cool Whip. So I'm telling you, it's a really easy dessert to make, and it's super, super good, and I think you're going to enjoy it. So stay tuned. Okay, so to do our first layer, we have our 1 stick of butter, which is unsalted butter, 1 cup of flour, and then also we have our 1 cup of chopped pecans. So I'm going to put on my mixer, and I'm just going to mix that up. And that looks pretty good. It looks pretty crumbly, pretty well mixed. So you want to do this probably for about 2 minutes or so, maybe a minute or 2. As long as you can see that everything is pretty well mixed, which mine looks like it is. Okay, there we go. Make sure your hands are always clean when you're cooking and baking. I'm just going to mix that up a little bit more with my hand. And now you want to get your 9x13 casserole dish and pat that at the bottom. Sometimes I like to use my fist too to pat it down a little bit. Yeah, that looks good. My oven is already preheated to 300 degrees, and we're gonna bake this for 20 minutes. So while that's in the oven baking at 300 degrees for about 20 minutes, during this time is when you can start making your layers. So for the second layer, we're going to need 1 cup of powdered sugar, and I'm going to put it in this bowl here. We're also going to need 1 package of Philadelphia cream cheese, 8 ounces. And this is softened, so you want to leave it out for just a little bit. And then we're also going to put in here 1 cup of Cool Whip. And I have this big tub here. I actually use, let's see, that's about a cup or so. So I use maybe a little bit more than a cup. I kind of just place it up against this instead of smashing it in there. Kind of go by my eye. Then I'm going to mix this. Looks nice and smooth. That's what you want. Yum. I like to give it a little taste. Ooh, yeah. Oh my gosh, this is so good. I'm telling you, anything with cream cheese is really good. All right, so then that's my second layer. And for the third layer is going to be your one package of chocolate instant pudding. So what I like to do there is I'm going to use two cups, and I have my half cup measurement cup here. That's a half a cup. So I'm going to put 4 because 2 of these makes 1 cup. And then I'm going to mix that up. I'm going to first use a spoon. Okay, so as I stirred it with my spoon, I'm now going to get my whisk, and I'm going to whisk this for probably about 2 minutes. And like I said, by us using only 2 cups, it's going to make this a little bit thicker than if we use 3 cups, like the directions say to use. You want to make sure everything is very well blended. And I'm going to stir this for another minute or so, and when we come back, we're going to make our Oreo cookie layer, so stay tuned. Okay, so let's do a check. We have our first layer that's baking in the oven still. I think it has probably about 10 more minutes to go. And then this is our second layer, which is our Cool Whip, cream cheese, and powdered sugar mix right here. The third layer is the chocolate instant pudding right there, and it's nice and thick. And now our fourth layer is going to be Oreo cookies, and it's really easy. All you do is get a package of Oreos. You probably need about, I don't know, I'd say about 10 or so, and you want to make at least a cup. So I have some in this mortar and pestle already, and I'm just going to smash it in here. I put 2 in at a time. If you put too many, it'll be going all over the place. So you just want to do about 2, and you're just going to smash it up, just like that. Very easy. All right, and then you're going to add it to a bowl, and that should measure, because I already did some already that's in here. So this measures approximately 1 cup, and you want it kind of crumbly like that too. So crush it up and leave some crumbs like that. It's going to be so good. Stay tuned. Okay, so welcome back. So our first layer is practically completely cooled. I'd say it's been sitting out for about 20 minutes or so. So you want to make sure that this is really, really cool. I can tell by the touch that it's pretty cool, ready for the other layers. So let's get started. All right, so I like to put my layers in order so I don't get confused. And the very first layer is going to be the cream cheese, Cool Whip, and powdered sugar mixture. So I'm just going to put that in my baking dish here. Make sure you get every bit of that layer. Okay, and I'm going to just spread it. It really helps when you use the back of a spoon, actually more than a spatula. So that's a little tip for you. Use the back of a spoon. All right, perfect. All right, next layer is going to be our chocolate pudding. So I'm just going to strategically place it because this is really thick. Remember, we wanted this really thick. So I'm going to just put it in all 4 corners and then put it on the side and in the middle, because you don't want to smear too much, because if you start doing that, you're going to mix up your layers. So you definitely want to be cognizant of that. Okay, once again, I'm going to use the back of this spoon, just make it easier. Actually, I'm going to use the large tablespoon. That's going to help me out a little bit. I'm going to smear that around. See, that's why it's very, very important to strategically place this around, because like I said, you don't want to mix up your layers. If you do, you know, it's not going to be a big deal, or it just looks prettier that way when you can definitely see the layers. And then our fourth layer is going to be the Oreo cookies. And we're just sprinkling that on top. Once again, you want to make sure you're getting every corner, every side. You don't want to leave a certain section where it doesn't have any Oreo cookies. Okay, I'm just going to sprinkle it. Nice. I'm going to use the back of another spoon right here, and I'm going to tap it. I'm just tapping it down. It's going to adhere to the chocolate pudding. And you might say, why are we doing that? Well, because the last layer is going to be the Cool Whip layer. So if it's just laying on top, it's possible it's going to get incorporated into the Cool Whip, and then, you know, you won't see that layer where it's all by itself. So we just want to tap it down. If it does stick to the Cool Whip, it's not a big deal, you know, where it shows on the outside. Of course it's going to stick in, you know, the inside, but it's not going to be a big deal. Okay. And then the very last layer, I'm going to get my Cool Whip, and I'm going to once again place it, my areas. Another spoon right here. Sometimes it helps when you're using 2 spoons as opposed to 1. So basically you use almost the entire can of Cool Whip here. Okay. Okay, then I'm going to just smear the top very nicely, making sure it's nice and smooth. It looks really good. I cannot wait to taste this. Oh, it's one of my favorites. And it's basically very easy to make. All right. There we go. Our oh so good cake, or 5-layer dessert. I hope you enjoy it, and happy cooking. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and I'm telling you, you're gonna like this too. Bye-bye.